YouTube, how's it going? Good to see you again. Hope you've called your mom recently. I'm going to be getting back in on some educational unranked games for myself today, and but don't worry, I'm going to be doing my best to commentate them as much as possible for you guys, because of course I care about your guys' learning, your Melee journey. When you guys come into the live stream and you tell me that it's been helping you get better, it really does mean a lot to me. That is a big part of why I'm doing this. So if you have any suggestions for improvement or anything like that, please let me know. Anyway, I am trying to make things better for you. That being said, we're going to get on some Marth and Falco games in just a moment, and so I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoy some of this, come into the live stream. Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, I'll be playing Melee. Tuesdays, I'm doing Radio Melee with Toph, but yeah, Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 2:30 to 5:30 Eastern Time. Hope to see you there. Thank you for watching. Anyway, we're going to be getting in on a Marth game. Now, you may have seen me play this character once or twice before. Now, of course, our goal here is to try and keep it more simple. We're going to try and play against Sheik here. We're playing on FD. Now, this is a good stage for Marth in the Sheik matchup. And that is because Sheik does not have any room to break combos. No platforms. If you really want platforms, you really want to be breaking jumps, and everything like that. Almost got out. And it's good on the Sheik to be spot dodging, because it is going to make it harder for me to get the punish. And we can see, what is the Sheik doing that's making things a little bit harder for her. She's often holding in by the edge or something like that. A lot of these burst movements. I did end up working out, and that was great. But look how the Sheik's not really changing the range they're approaching at. Often rolling very quickly. I thought I was able to jump out of that, but unfortunately not. This time I'll definitely be... Interesting. Well, the Sheik seemed like they're very good at getting this regrab. I'm going to keep that in mind. And we're going to make sure that we're going to spike the Sheik, because we did get grabbed a lot there in a bit confusing way. Now, of course, we want to be holding up and out slightly, so we are able to jump out a lot of time. There's going to be a bit of the overshoot. The Sheik has the stream on. We're not entirely sure. But regardless, I don't mind taking that damage. I already have high enough damage. Doesn't really matter to me. And we're going to make sure we do a bunch of fairs, because the Sheik was holding in a lot. We could, of course, mix and fast fall, land, and then do a forward smash. Or we could do an up A in the air. There are lots of things we can do to pressure the Sheik in this scenario. But, of course, we're just going to kind of push the Sheik across the level, punish some of their habits. We're going to get a roll. There's our roll. And that's going to be good SDI coming out from Sheik. Do we get a jump? We do. Now, of course, if you are DIing away in that scenario, when I do the back air, you are going to be falling out, so you're going to lose your stock. So, of course, the Sheik is going to be able to go for that whiff, because they are invincible. So we're going to go ahead and keep that in mind. We're just going to put out our down tilt just to keep the Sheik cornered. That's an okay damage for us to take. We've got the Sheik off stage. And as you can see, the Sheik actually could have dropped a little bit lower before coming on. So we have to really keep that in mind. She can drop very low before trying to get pressure out on us. Yep. And there's our immediate attacks. Now, again, look at all the bursting from the Sheik. Something that makes Sheik much stronger and much harder to deal with is the fact that Sheik has a good wave dash. Sheik is very quick to move around and reposition slightly, change attack slightly, and that's going to make Sheik much harder to deal with. Now, the Sheik had a kill here. They just needed to get back on the stage. So, of course, I didn't go for an immediate hit right there, because I was trying to make sure that I pressure the Sheik no matter what the Sheik did there. And again, there's our quick attack coming out. We're going to go for our forward smash. We did see the jump was lost with our second forward air. So again, Sheik might have been trying to SDI. Make sure you time your SDI and don't mash as much as possible. That's going to help you out. There's our roll. That was good play on their part. They drifted away. I was trying to cover them going to edge. It's an early jump. It is not. Good job. But because they were just slightly off on their spacing as I was coming back on the stage, they still did get punished. Now, something to keep in mind from some of these games is that I was kind of waiting out because I called out the early burst out habit of the Sheik, and then when they whiffed, they ended up doing a roll to reposition themselves, and sometimes they would do a spot dodge out of tech chase, like we also called out a little bit, which is a fine option, but if you overdo it, you can be punished as well just by waiting and then punishing or something like that. Anyway, when you're grabbing Sheik, often there's a certain percent where you want to throw Sheik up and get the punish, and so you did see me doing that some. I actually did it at a very early percent. Normally you want to be getting the up throw on Sheik maybe around about 24% before the throw, and then you can usually convert into up tilt no matter what the DI Sheik does. But I think if Sheik is holding forward, you can sometimes get the up tilt earlier, and so I did notice that came out, and so I started going for that a little bit earlier just to be a little bit cheeky and kind of see what that could be like for me, because I didn't want to be dropping the tech chases. So again, there were probably some times where I could have held down and gotten some punishes, but I think more importantly, you guys know when I can get the dodges, you know about the habits, you know about how keeping Sheik up in the air, you know a little bit about SDI, you know something about some of the edge guards from those scenarios, and you also saw me mess up getting out of the Sheik regrab, so that was a bit of a boo-boo on my part, but that is okay. Nobody's perfect, and I am trying to be educational to you guys more than trying to have like flawless games with these people. That being said, thank you Oka for playing, and I hope you guys enjoyed the games. Alright, we got a Marth Ditto Fountain of Dreams. A lot of condensed stages. Means we're not going to have a lot of room to dash back. Now the Marth is cornered, as you can see. Oh, a little bit ambitious on my part, but that's okay. Look at the patience coming out from this guy. Of course, what is going on here? I'm trying to keep the Marth off balance. So every time he's cornered, even if I'm not hitting him outright, right? I'm always keeping him cornered. So he's cornered, then he has to make a decision. I move in. What are you going to do? He's still cornered. So even if I don't get the kill here, he's on the edge. He comes back. That's fine. That's not fine. That's more of a challenge, of course. So as you can see, we kind of did the same thing, acted like we're going to go out, turn out with down tilt. Goes out very far past the stage, no point not using it. Down tilt twice, now they're out. So as you can see, this when you land with an aerial as Marth, you have to cover yourself. You have to cover yourself, very important. And do most Marths cover it with a dash back. So again, these movements right here, you're going high, you're side being, putting yourself in lag. I know you can't even air dodge. It's a tough situation to be in. So what did I do when I got hit? I moved forward because I didn't want to get pushed around there. There's going to be our shield drop coming out. Let's get on them in control space. And so what do they do well? When they would always cancel their lag and move backwards, but on such a small stage, it's going to get you cornered very easily because they weren't taking any stage. I'm free to corner them. So look, down tilt, dash back. It's not a bad option, but it just has its own issues. Ooh. So again, we're just seeing the movement away. We're going to go ahead and punish. Of course, we didn't quite get it, but you saw the idea. You saw the intent. You're getting the call out. Obviously, everyone in the YouTube comments would be getting the punish. That's why you got to tip your down tilt. Oh, no Mewtwo King for me. Of course, we can just put out a back air anyway. I could have been doing back airs instead of the down tilts and forward smashes I was doing. So there's our spacing coming back. So they're going to miss their down tilt, move back. We're just going to go ahead and go for a spike. Not very commonly used option right there for me. Of course, Marth could have teched it. Just gonna keep pressure on him. Now notice how I'm moving. I'm always having the threat of my down tilt attached to what I'm doing. Of course, I could just also have grab attached. And it's good on them to hold down there. Now I'm doing some approaching nair. Normally I advocate to not do that. And the only reason I'm doing it is just because it's really the only thing that, oh, I think it actually would have worked. It's the only thing that really beats the down tilt. Again, that early timing, gonna get punished. Early timing on that side B. Make sure you try to drop low, skirt around someone if you can. Although it really should kind of be a GG when someone's off stage. Of course, we saw them coming in just a moment ago, so we're just gonna go ahead and cover that. Oh, no jump. There's our jump we were looking for. Try to get my shield out, no dice. Got my head poked. Marth's shield doesn't really cover all of them that well. Oh, they had the right idea. Thought we might be getting a side B. Oh, got my jump. Not my best jump input, I'll be honest about that. And then we're just going to catch that early side B again. But you can see how pretty much all of that works. How so much of I'm conveying that down tilt threat. How if you're tippering it, you're safe. If you're not tippering it, you can be punished back. How the jump works in conjunction with all that. How I needed to space the nair a little bit more, but still how the nair works in conjunction with the down tilt mix-up. How to punish off of grabs. Up throw, usually get an up tilt or an up air or a forward air. You know, you push your opponent off the stage. How you don't want to do those early side Bs off the stage. How this person had so much more room to play more of the game that felt comfortable to them on Final Destination, a room with a very long stage. That is, of course, the entire stage, a long platform. They're able to move back multiple times, and then they can play more of a game they want to. Move back once, then maybe they come in at the timing that feels good for them. On Fountain of Dreams, didn't have that option. They moved back a little bit, now they're cornered. Now I pressure them. You saw how I was playing all that out and calling that out. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense to some of you guys, how the neutral flows in the Marth Ditto, how the stage impacts the neutral, and of course how some of the punish works as well. I wanted to get a little bit better edge guards and call some of that out. Didn't quite get it, but you did see the down air kill on Final Destination, which is a little cheeky and unusual. Of course, going for forward air would be a little bit better, but I wasn't in position to do that. Anyway, GG's, I believe I forget the name of my Marth opponent. I have an idea, but I might be wrong. So anyway, GG's to them. Thank you guys for watching.